As the BRICS summit is currently ongoing, there are growing indications that Turkey's accession to the bloc could be finalized very soon, with President Recep Tayyip Erdogan attending the event and pushing for deeper engagement with BRICS members. This development would mark a significant milestone in Turkey's foreign policy, as it seeks to diversify its international alliances and reduce its reliance on Western institutions like NATO and the European Union. But before discussing that in further details, let's talk about the motivation of Turkey for joining the BRICS bloc. Turkey's relationship with the European Union has been long and complicated. The country first applied for EU membership in 1987, and it was officially recognized as a candidate in 1999. However, more than 2 decades later, the negotiations have stalled with no clear resolution in sight. Multiple factors have contributed to this delay, including concerns from the EU over Turkey's political and human rights record. In particular, issues like freedom of expression and press freedoms have been frequent points of contention, especially in the aftermath of the 2016 attempted coup in Turkey, when the government's crackdown on political dissent intensified these concerns. Moreover, while Turkey's economy has experienced periods of growth, structural issues such as high inflation, a weak currency, and a significant current account deficit make full economic integration with the EU a difficult proposition. Additionally, cultural and religious differences have played a subtle but persistent role in the delays. Some EU member states, notably France and Austria, have voiced reservations about incorporating a predominantly Muslim country into what is largely viewed as a Christian-majority political union. Another significant stumbling block has been Turkey's ongoing dispute with Cyprus, an EU member. The division of the island and Turkey's refusal to recognize the Cypriot government have been major obstacles that have complicated negotiations further. As these issues have dragged on, Turkey's frustration with the EU has become more pronounced. Turkish leaders, particularly President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, have expressed disappointment with what they perceive as the EU's double standards and political bias. For Erdogan, the EU's unwillingness to fast-track Turkey's membership, despite ongoing negotiations, has fueled skepticism of Europe's intentions. This frustration is mirrored in Turkish public opinion, where support for EU membership has steadily declined over the years. As a result, Turkey's leadership has increasingly turned its attention to other global alliances that might better align with its geopolitical and economic interests. Among these, BRICS has become an attractive alternative. At the same time, Turkey has been strengthening its trade and political relationships with Russia, even as tensions between Russia and the West have escalated due to the Russia-Ukraine war. Historically, Turkey and Russia have had a complex relationship, often marked by competition and cooperation. Their interests frequently overlap in regions like the Middle East, the Black Sea, and Eastern Europe, creating both conflict and opportunities for partnership. Over recent years, their relationship has deepened, particularly after the West distanced itself from Turkey, following the 2016 coup attempt. Russia, on the other hand, was quick to offer its support, which led to a significant warming of relations between Ankara and Moscow. This shift in alliances was further reinforced by Turkey's controversial purchase of Russia's S-400 missile defense system, despite opposition from NATO. In the context of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Turkey has maintained and even expanded its trade relations with Russia, despite Western-imposed sanctions on Moscow. This pragmatism reflects Turkey's strategy of balancing its Western commitments, particularly as a NATO member, with its national economic interests. Let's take a brief moment here. If our content touches your heart or sparks your curiosity, please show some love by hitting the like button. We'd love to hear your thoughts too, so please leave a comment below. Your interaction truly helps our community flourish and reach others who might appreciate it just as much. Thank you for being such a vital part of our journey. Russia is a key partner for Turkey in several crucial sectors, most notably energy. Turkey is heavily reliant on Russian natural gas, and the Turk Stream pipeline has solidified their energy relationship. Furthermore, the two nations are cooperating on Turkey's first nuclear power plant at Akuyu, underscoring their deepening ties in the energy sector. Beyond energy, Turkey has also benefited from trade with Russia in other sectors, such as agriculture and industry. As Western countries imposed economic sanctions on Russia, Turkey stepped in to increase its exports of food, textiles, and machinery. This growing trade relationship highlights Turkey's ability to navigate complex geopolitical landscapes to serve its own economic interests. Russian tourism has also played a significant role in Turkey's economy, with millions of Russian tourists visiting the country even during the height of the Ukraine war. Additionally, Turkey's financial system has served as a vital conduit for Russian businesses and individuals seeking to bypass Western sanctions. Turkey's balancing act between East and West is further reflected in its role as a mediator in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, where it has hosted negotiations between the two sides. This dual approach, maintaining ties with Russia while keeping its diplomatic channels open with the West, illustrates Turkey's increasingly independent foreign policy. Against this backdrop, Turkey's interest in joining BRICS is part of a broader effort to diversify its alliances and reduce its reliance on Western institutions. Turkey's desire to join BRICS is driven by several factors. First, the bloc represents a viable alternative to the Western-dominated global economic system, which aligns with Turkey's shift toward a more independent foreign policy. With its EU membership prospects looking increasingly unlikely, Turkey is seeking new platforms that reflect its growing regional and global ambitions. BRICS, as a group of emerging economies not beholden to Western influence, offers such an opportunity. The geopolitical context is also significant. Turkey's relationship with Russia, a key member of BRICS, has grown stronger, reinforcing the rationale for aligning itself with the bloc. Moreover, economic considerations are paramount. By joining BRICS, Turkey could potentially tap into increased trade and investment flows from the other member states. In particular, Turkey is keen to attract more investment in key sectors like energy, infrastructure, and technology, which would complement its domestic economic goals. Furthermore, joining BRICS would enhance Turkey's global influence, aligning it with countries that are asserting themselves as alternatives to the traditional Western-centric order. BRICS countries collectively represent a large share of the world's population and GDP, and Turkey's participation would elevate its status as a significant player in global economic governance. However, Turkey's potential membership in BRICS is not without challenges. The bloc itself is highly diverse, with member countries often having divergent political and economic agendas. For instance, tensions between India and China, both of which are BRICS members, could complicate Turkey's engagement within the group. Additionally, Turkey's accession to BRICS could further strain its relationships with the EU and NATO, both of which view Russia and China, the leading powers in BRICS, as strategic rivals. NATO, in particular, might perceive Turkey's deepening ties with BRICS as a sign of Ankara aligning too closely with powers that oppose the alliance's core interests. Despite these challenges, BRICS offers Turkey significant opportunities to assert its global influence, diversify its economic relationships, and pursue a foreign policy less dependent on the West. The move reflects Turkey's broader ambition to position itself as a key player in a multipolar world, where alliances are fluid and geopolitical interests shift based on pragmatism rather than traditional loyalties. In conclusion, Turkey's pivot toward BRICS highlights its frustration with the EU's prolonged accession process and its search for alternative alliances. As Turkey grows increasingly disillusioned with the EU, it is actively seeking new platforms that can offer both economic benefits and political leverage. Its ongoing trade with Russia, despite Western sanctions, underscores Turkey's pragmatism in foreign policy and its willingness to pursue relationships that serve its national interests. While BRICS membership presents both opportunities and challenges, it is clear that Turkey views this move as part of a broader strategy to assert its independence and redefine its role on the global stage. That concludes our video for today. Thank you dearly for spending your time with us. We're genuinely grateful and delighted to have you in our community. If this video resonated with you or inspired you, please consider showing your support by liking the video and subscribing to our channel. By doing so, you help us share more content that hopefully moves and uplifts you, just as you uplift us. Your support is invaluable. Also, we have another captivating video ready for you to enjoy, now showing on your screen. Don't miss out!